Listen carefully. When you hear Xemnas speaking, try to isolate the qualities of the voice and the speech that I'm using. What are you hearing? Definitely breathier. It's a character, it's one of the most menacing and powerful characters I play, and I whisper. Interesting, isn't it? Instead of being like Yami, I'm actually very subtle. I am the leader of Organization 13. Other people do the shouting for me.
That ain't the truth.
It also sounds like you're trying to enunciate your words differently too.
Yeah, the actual word is pronounce. No, she's on the right track. There's a reason for this. People make that mistake. I'm a speech teacher also, and a dialectician, a linguist, and all that other crap, you know. So enunciation actually is the vocal choices you make. Pronunciation is how crisp your speech is. And articulation is just the way the muscles work. So any language you speak, you're using articulators. Pronunciation is what determines which language you're doing. When you enunciate, and again, people use that word for pronunciation, but enunciate means what choice do you make? And in that sense, you're on the right track, because I am using the words very differently. I'll tell you in a moment why. I did not audition that way. But again, other qualities, what are you hearing? Whispery and very, very deliberate and crisp in the speech.
I can't think of like the words for it, but you're not like using your head voice, but you're using kind of more back.
There's no such thing as a head voice.
I come from a vocal choir
Yeah, me too.
background, so I haven't been in choir for a while, so I'm trying to think of like what I'm trying to say. But
No, I understand what you mean though, because voice teachers make these mistakes. They say stuff like, use your head voice. Use it. Okay, your voice is right here.
It's the neck voice.
You have 4 resonating chambers, so you are placing your voice differently, but there's no such thing as a head voice. That's where singers get in trouble, and I've seen this happen. I was 4 years with the San Diego Opera Company. We had about 50 regular opera company members, and they all had a different style. And the ones that used their head voice would sing like this. And they were trying to get it up in their head because that's what they were told. It just has to do with where you choose to resonate, but your voice is always here, and it'll keep it much healthier.
yeah, it just sounds like you're trying to like resonate kind of more to the back. So
I'm
it
actually
has, like-
further back in my throat, you are correct.
Yeah.
And this is what we call a darker placement. It's not, this kind of dark, and it's certainly not this kind of dark, for Christ's sake, Don't get me bloody started, I'm having a Sean attack! Jesus, Mary and Joseph! The little child's going, all right, but Christ. Actually, when you talk about that, you're quite correct. I am placing it further back in my throat, okay? Rather than saying, it's my head voice or something like that.
Yeah.
I do like the image when you say you're putting it back here, because sometimes you're putting your voice so far back, it feels like it's on the back of your head, Okay, the reason I came up with the pacing and the way I do that, and I like to explain it this way. I went into my first session. The director said, okay, what we do is we will do one cue, and then we talk about it here in the booth, okay? And they had a couple of clients from Japan, some people on long distance phone calls from around the world, and they would all listen to my one cue and talk about it. I thought 10 minutes he's exaggerating. But I said, well, let's just bring a bench in for me, because I work like this. I stand, there's your microphone, popper stopper, screen with the lines on it, or the paper script or whatever, right? And I stand up. You have better energy when you stand up. Everything flows better. It's just we also developed as human beings, as a species. We stood up, remember? We didn't stay down. We stood up. Our brains developed as creatures standing up. We're faster thinking when you're on your feet.
More control of your voice and your own.
Well, everything. You can actually, your posture helps and all that. I've seen people who can recline and work back like this and do all that. And okay, great, if you can get away with it. That will put me to sleep, so I feel much, much stronger and better when I do that. Taylor's here. Taylor's here.
Taylor's here.
Taylor's here. Taylor's here. Right on cue. Good timing too, by the way. So here's what happened. I went in, and one of my first lines was something simple like, yes, he will. Okay, now here's the trouble. That cue's this long. The timing is this long. And they did not want us to add syllables. They wouldn't have us add words. I couldn't even uncontract. So I had to stretch these things out. So I said, yes, he will. And as you listen to the show and you listen to the things happen in the game, that is the way many of my deliveries are. It's because the timing was this long and the line was this long. And I thought, this sucks, these guys are gonna hate this, right? But after the first session, all right, perfect, that's what we want. So that's why Xemnas does this. I have the longest K's in the industry. Anson the Wise, you look pathetic. You hear that? I take a full second to say, as we were filling stuff out like that. Now, as I do that line, I'll give you the whole thing. Anson the Wise, you look pathetic. What am I doing to keep the pace longer?
Inhaling.
No, I speak without inhaling. Good answer, though. Like the diaphragm thing. You're thinking, I like it. You're thinking right. Yes.
So that you're trying to keep your breath under control and continue that same breath pattern?
Yeah. What I'm doing essentially is maintaining that support for long distance. Okay. Also, when I say, Anson the Wise, what are you hearing?
There's an extra syllable at the end of the word.
I'm actually not doing an extra syllable. What's happening is I'm pronouncing all the way through, and I'm holding my Z's longer, like that. And I'm holding my nasal resonators longer too. I did everything I could to fill the space up, and they thought it was wonderful. Okay. The kick was I would sit down on the bench and like this while they were talking. And I thought, well, any moment now. But they'd be in the booth like this. Histrionics, it's all, it's like a silent movie. It's everything completely, soundproof, of course. But I'm seeing all this stuff in these heavy discussions, right? And it might be on a word like, yes, And then after all that, 10 minutes later, sometimes it was really 10 minutes, you get on the talk back and go, okay, that was fine, let's move on to the next one. What the hell were you talking about all that time? It was 3 syllables, people. How difficult, but that's it. They scrutinize every single line, every sound, okay? Now, that of course is one of my biggies worldwide right now. I've done cons in Canada and Ireland and England and Australia, and they know Kingdom Hearts, and they also know Naruto. Big time. See Naruto, see this turning leaf?